All right, well, welcome everyone. We have people from all around the nation, I'm pretty sure. And there's been a lot of excitement over the last 48 hours. Um, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit record here. Welcome everyone to the iPro Network presentation, Business Opportunity. Now, at the end of this presentation, folks, there are going to be some updates. So for those of you that are looking for those updates, they will be happening after the presentation here. So let's go ahead and jump right in here. And you're about to discover how you can potentially benefit and profit from three multi-billion-dollar industries. The first one we're going to talk about today, folks, is e-commerce and online shopping. Second, digital technology, platform, social sharing, e-currency, also known as cryptocurrency. Now, not the first thing we're going to talk about. This is just one, two, three, and I apologize for what I just said. The first thing we're going to talk about is actually the third thing that's on this list. So let's go there and get started. Now, when you hear about cryptocurrency and through this presentation, we're going to use the term cryptocurrency or e-currency or digital currency. So if you hear me say any one of those terms, they all mean the exact same thing, which is the new expression of money. That's all it means. This is a new currency, a new type of currency that is quickly becoming massively adopted, not just here in the US, but outside of the US. This is growing by leaps and bounds every single day. So if you've never heard of it, it may cause a little bit of confusion because there is some technical jargon. The second reaction sometimes is people are unsure. What does it mean? Should I care? Does it matter? Should I participate? Should I educate myself? Or should I just kind of go with the flow until everybody else knows? And so that could cause you to be unsure of what it means. You might have heard of it before, but not quite understand how it impacts you, or if it does, or whether you should take action or not. And then the third type of person is a person that kind of has a pretty clear understanding of what digital currency is, what e-currency is, what cryptocurrency is, and are excited out of their minds because of what is happening specifically outside of just in the digital currency space, but specifically within iPro Network and how that impacts the people that have become members of iPro Network. So let's talk a little bit about the evolution of payments. We've gone from cash to checks to plastic. A lot of people are using PayPal, which is a form of virtual currency, Apple Pay, Google Pay. All of these are types of ways of being able to either accept a currency or move a currency in different formats. And so PayPal is certainly a digital platform, but that's what it is. It is a digital platform of exchange of money. However, digital currency, e-currency, cryptocurrency is different. It's the actual currency. It just happens to be virtual, but we're talking about currency that has the ability to actually grow in value with time. And so the very, very first digital currency that actually has pretty much gained world renown, and it's you can't talk about e-currency without talking about it, is Bitcoin. And so we're going to talk about that for just a little bit. We're not going to go into a whole long drawn out conversation of Bitcoin, but it is number one. It is the one that has the most value. At the time of this particular slide, it was at 1180. Right now, I believe today it actually hit over 1400. If somebody wants to put there in the chat what the value is, I'll go ahead and say it. If somebody knows exactly what the value is, that would be great. Okay, so some people are saying it's at 415. Some people are saying it's at 1435. Again, I noticed that it was over 1400, which is this is probably the new high for the digital currency known as Bitcoin, and it really has opened up the world to understand what a digital currency is. Now, when it first started, about 8 years ago, it had zero value, and the only way that you could acquire it was through a process called mining. And that mining was a very difficult process for most people. It certainly has gotten easier with time, but it's still very, very technical. A lot of heavy lifting, a lot of different calculations. You got to understand the wattage. You got to understand hash rates. You have to understand mining, how to win a block or to actually make profits through transactions, the speed. There's just all sorts of different things that come into play when actually producing a Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum, if you look at that, number two is at 48 at the time of the slide. I purchased 10 of these on Saturday morning, and I got them at around $70. And today I think it were like at 75. I haven't checked out what it is, but earlier in the day it was around 75. I don't know where it's at today. But now Ethereum, guys, if you got into it early on, it was at 60 cents about 2 years ago. And today, like I said on Saturday, was over $70. Now, what does it all mean? Well, what it means, folks, is that there's a new money, a new form of money that has changed over the last decade or so, and it is poised to become adopted by the masses. And so, if you're hearing about this for the very, very first time through this presentation, you're going to find out some pretty successful business entrepreneurs, some pretty, major banks, and you're going to see the community that is already involved. And the only question is, why aren't we? Well, a lot of times it's because we just simply don't know. And this is something that is very much the case when we're talking about e-currencies or digital currencies, because not everybody knows about it, which is actually for us at iPro Networks actually a good thing, because we get to educate the consumer. We get to educate the people that are going to be using digital currency in the future, and we're going to get to educate the people that are actually going to accept this as a form of payment. Now, Bitcoin is at the tremendous value of where it is today, which is 1,400, versus Ethereum. Did anybody post what Ethereum was today by any chance? Okay, so it's $77 today. Now, what that means, folks, is that from number one to number two, there's a vast, vast difference in terms of price. And the difference why Bitcoin is worth so much more is that everybody has agreed that, hey, Bitcoin is worth X amount, or they're willing to accept it as a form of payment in 2 million different retailers. And, what happens is it's all based on supply and demand. And so Bitcoin is really something that has taken off, and it has really changed the way people are going to be using money in the years to come. So, what we're so excited about, and that screenshot that I just showed you was from a website. It's coinmarketcap.com. So, if this is the first time that you're seeing this, this is a listing service of over 700 different digital currencies. Excuse me. So if you look up here, there's 717 currencies on this particular website. Now that's not all of them. There's actually another website um, that you can go and check. There's really over about 1,000 different cryptocurrencies right now that are recognized in different exchanges. And so a lot of the people that are on here on this webinar here today, if you are brand new, I'm sure that you were invited by somebody that was excited, because we're going to be talking through this presentation. To some degree, we're going to be talking about a digital currency that just launched last Monday. And last Monday, that digital currency was valued at 0.04. As you can see from the screen here, this is the exact same website that I just showed you, but I actually clicked on it to take the snapshot to show you where the value of this currency is today, which is at 0.09. Now let me back up a little bit and tell you about Bitcoin once again. 8 years ago, it was worthless. It took 2 years to actually make to have any value associated with it. It was flatlining for 2 years. However, it took off. It's currently at 1,400. Ethereum started off about 60 cents. Today is worth over $77. You have Pro. This currency is called Pro currency. Okay, that's the symbol, that big, fancy P, with that blue background. That's the actual symbol that you will find listed here on CoinMarketCap. If you actually want to type in that search where it says search currencies, you would actually put in the symbol, which is PROC, and that'll bring you. If you notice here, I'm actually going to highlight it so you can see this. Let's see here. If you go right here, you can see the symbol, which is PROC. That's the symbol that you would type in here in the search string, and it would take you to the currency itself and what the value is. Okay, so that's why a lot of the folks that are on here are super excited and invited. If you're seeing this for the very first time, that's why they're so excited, because this actually launched on Monday of last week. So cryptocurrency has a very big and exciting future in online shopping, which brings us to the second thing that we're going to talk about today, which is e-commerce. Now, 81% of all cryptocurrencies wind up for online shopping or e-commerce, okay, which is basically synonymous. So all the other verticals that you see here where digital currency actually makes a splash is very, very low. So that's actually very exciting, because there's certainly verticals here that iPro Network, and I'm positive that Pro Currency, which is outside of iPro Network, two different entities. Pro is just a currency. Now, what's so cool about digital currency is that digital currency is only based on supply and demand. So no private entity, no government, no institution, no bank, no private interest group of any kind actually controls it. Once the currency is launched, it is open source. The algorithm is open source. It's completely decentralized. So what this means, folks, is that there is a new currency, okay, that has behind it the purpose of going into the e-commerce space. So when iPro Network made the analysis of what was hot and what was trending, they realized that e-commerce was where the new money was being spent. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. Now, what's really cool is that e-currency is still in its infancy. So only 6% of the entire global population knows that it even exists. And even within that 6%, I would cut that number in half and then cut it in half again as to the people that are actually profiting on a day-to-day with digital currency. Now, folks, this is very key for you to understand, because I've been in this exact same space 11 years ago when I got dragged kicking and screaming into this industry, was because there was another shift. There was a shift in telecommunications. There was a shift between analog phone lines and digital phone lines. So we used to be able to use the phone by hooking it up to the wall to, and using it with a corded phone and a rotary dialing, and then it went to, well, you guys know. And so, but the bottom line is that in 2006, I got involved with digital phone service, and we were switching out analog phone lines for digital phone lines, and wound up making, a ton of money, because I was in that industry for 7 years straight with the same company. And guess what? We were telling people in 2006 that by 2012 all phone lines were going to be digital, and guess what? It happened. Now, the people that got in front of that trend, folks, made a ton of money. They made hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, multiple six figures and seven figures. And so we were lucky enough to get in front of that and make multiple seven figures in that industry, because we were able to recognize the trends and the shifts before it went to mass adoption. And that's where we are today. If only 6% of the entire world population knows about this, then the question is there an opportunity to go out there and educate and maybe profit from this? And I think that the answer is absolutely yes. This gives you a little bit of the history that I talked about Bitcoin. It was worthless before 2010. Then around 2010, it went to about 10 cents. And today, well, this is even outdated. We're going to have to update this particular slide, because now that point of resistance that you see there, about 1200, Bitcoin just went past that. So we're watching history today at the price of 1400 for one Bitcoin, which is more than an ounce of gold, by the way. Now, if all of this sounds fantastic, and it sounds like, oh my gosh, what are these people even talking about? Well, here's a question. What are the banks, governments, and billionaires up to? Well, guess what? They're all in this space. Why? Because this is the new expression of money. It's quicker, faster, more efficient, more anonymous, more secure way of moving money from point A to point B, or housing money, or any other thing that has value, because the underlying technology that makes cryptocurrency possible is called the blockchain, and the blockchain's not going away. When you have people like Sir Richard Branson, like the Winklevoss twins, like Mark Anderson, the inventor of Netscape, when you have Tim Draper, who's known as a Nostradamus of the financial markets, when all of these people are heavily, heavily invested in pushing the agenda of blockchain technology and digital currency, it's not going to go away, folks. So You have Bank of America, very well known. Do you think they've done their research? I think so. You have Sir Richard Branson, owner of Everything Virgin. Do you think he knows something about what's going to happen? You have the Bank of England. You have eBay passing patents for cryptocurrency. You have Bitcoin. You have Bill Gates talking about Bitcoin is exciting me because it shows how cheap transactions can be. Well, his excitement went towards Ethereum. Microsoft allegedly has dumped $400 million in the development of Ethereum, which, everybody knows who Microsoft is, and everybody knows the relationship between Microsoft and Bill Gates. Barclays, Goldman Sachs. I mean, the list goes on and on. All you have to do, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take the word of anybody that invited you onto this webinar presentation here today. You don't have to take our word for it. Just go do some research on digital currency. Understand that what we're talking about here today is a digital currency that launched last week that has actual value within the open market. And that's where the excitement comes from, folks, because this is a digital currency that has a purpose. This purpose is not speculation on the exchanges. This purpose is to dominate the e-commerce space, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, direct sharing economy is the third thing that we're going to talk about. And so there's Airbnb, there's Uber as examples of the many-to-many model. That's where many providers, or excuse me, many service providers are marketed through a platform to many users. So Airbnb is a perfect example of that. That's replaced or surpassed rather the Hilton brand, which the Hilton brand is worth about 50 billion. Airbnb over the last decade has surpassed that without owning any real estate of their own, but because they have the many to many model, that direct sharing economy model, where you have people that will actually convert their real estate, or their homes or private homes or condos, whatever, into places where people can rent them out that are better than renting a hotel. In most cases, it's going to be more affordable, and they're going to be able to have a better deal and cut out all those high prices and be able to connect. And so that is something that has taken off, and a simple website has basically surpassed the Hilton brand over the last decade. Now you have Uber, which is another perfect example of the many-to-many model, where you have a lot of people that take their private vehicles and turn them into taxis to transport people from one place to another. Now, that's not revolutionary, right? That's been around since the wheel was invented, but it's in the manner that it's taking place that makes the difference. It's that many-to-many model. So iPro Network is doing this exact same thing. It's building a community, but at the same time, it's building a digital platform where you have the many-to-many model. And so you're going to have the people that are going to be educated in currency and digital currency, and you're going to have a community that has a ton of this currency, and you're going to bring those two worlds together through iPro Network. So let's take a look at how this works. And this was something that Armando Contreras, which is the CEO of iPro Network, had the vision to see that, hey, money has changed. Money is going digital. It's called cryptocurrency. Okay, that's happened. That's in the history books. That already happened 8 years ago, and it's continuing to go into mass adoption. So that's number one. Number two is, where is money being spent? And we're going to talk about that in just a second, because that's the second part of this. And so when you merge both of those things together through a direct sharing model and a platform, a digital platform that makes many to many providers to users, and you bring that together through iPro Network, then you have something that is unique. So you have IPN with a direct sharing economy with three different ways of bringing those users and bringing the merchants together. Again, remember, keep in mind the Uber model, keep in mind the Airbnb model. The first way is through Pro Rewards. And this is something that I am super excited about. Not just to say that I'm excited about it, but it really does make sense, because anytime you could be first to market on anything, you should, if you're not excited, you got to check your pulse, see if you can still fog a mirror, because this is exciting. To be attached to 4,500 different retailers that are going to offer a coin back rewards program. So this platform, this Pro Rewards, is part of this IPN model of many to many, and you can earn rewards simply by shopping. Okay, now this is the question: how many of you like to shop, and how many of you like to shop and save money? And how many of you would like to shop, save money, and make money? And then yet, how many of you would like to shop, save money, and make money while shopping? Well, that's exactly what we have here, because we have a way for you to be able to shop the same way you've always shopped before. You could use your debit card, your credit card, whatever, go online to 4,500 major retailers and start shopping like you've always done. The only difference is that when you shop online, you typically are going to have some type of rewards program attached to it, some cashback incentive, like at Macy's or JCPenney or Hotels.com or Amazon or Best Buy, just to name a few. Every single time you shop, you're going to be earning cash back. However, instead of getting that paid in cash back, you're going to be able to earn that in pro rebates. Folks, this is huge, okay? Because remember, Pro was released a week ago. It's already in the marketplace. It's in the open market. So here's what happens. Every time you shop online, whatever cashback was attached to that shopping gets paid out to you in Pro currency. Now, what's the big deal? Well, check this out. In this slide, I don't know if you could see it, but at the bottom here, it shows 3 purchases that happened. This wasn't, this is not an illustration. This is an actual shopping that took place. Excuse me for just a quick second, folks. Okay, so this is actual shopping that took place, and from all of this shopping, $306 were spent. Now, the amount that was earned in the USD was $35.49. You can see that up here. Now, when this was actually done, the value of the currency was an ICO pricing, which is the initial coin offering. So that pricing was at 0.02. 0.02. So at today's pricing, that 35.49 is well, let's do it. Let's do the math here real quick, and that way you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Hang on a second, guys. Let me bring out the calculator here. And that $35, let's see here. Where's my app? Here we go. Okay, so you got $35.49. Now remember, when this was earned, now this is important. If you get this, you're going to see what the excitement is all about. $35.49 divided at the time when this was actually purchased, the pro rewards were valued at 0.02. So that would give you 1,774 pro rewards. Okay, that would be the amount of rewards that you would get instead of the $35.49 USD. Now, at today's pricing, you would have $159. So that 35, see, if you've ever been part of any loyalty rewards program and you purchase, if you just kept those $35 in your account, that it would always be just $35. Okay, I'm showing you right now that at the time of this purchase, it was at 0.02, but because of the number of pro rewards, if you multiply it by today's prices, that's actually 159. Now that is so cool because, well, I'll show you in these next slides here why that's so cool. See, let's recap. This application is free to use. It's free to download. It's free to shop with it. It's free to give away to other people to shop with it. Okay? You could use this at your favorite major retailers. The user receives coinback rewards, and now you have 3 choices with those rewards. You could sell your rewards live on the exchange. Now, if you just want your 35 bucks, right? You could get your 35 bucks, turn pro into Bitcoin, turn Bitcoin into your bank account, and that's it. You got your 35 bucks from those $300 that you spent. But what if you hold on to it? Now remember, it took Bitcoin 8 years to get to 1,400. Well, where could Pro be over the next 8 years? Okay. Now, I'm not going to go ahead, and give out a number because it's irrelevant, right? I already showed you that only in a week it went to 0.09. So where it can go in 8 years, I have no idea. But let's say it just went to $1. Let's say that Pro currency even with all the innovation, all the applications, and all the things that it has going for it. And if you want to see what all that is, you could go and read the white paper on procommerce.io, and it'll give you 32 pages of the technology and the innovation and everything that ProCurrency is bringing to the table. So you can figure out, or maybe you won't be able to sleep for the next month or two, because who knows where it's going to be in 8 years. Now that's what you have to ask yourself, and remember that Bitcoin story, because it's very relevant. Now, if I only had that 3549 at 0.02 and I had 1,700 coins, and in 8 years it goes to $1, well, guess what? I just made $1,700 on what? I purchased whatever it was that I purchased, and I received that as free pro rewards simply for shopping what I was going to buy anyway on an application that's free to download for Android and for Apple, and it's free to use, and it's free to give away. Now, why would I give it away? Why would I give this application away? Because you're incentivized to give it away, because if you have a bunch of people shopping on this app, whatever they earn in pro rewards, you get 10% pro rewards as well, even if you don't shop. Now, I'd like to see, from this presentation, like, is everybody getting this? Do you guys like the sound of that? I mean, is that powerful or what? I mean, that's huge, guys. This is unbelievable. So, all right. Now, the last part of this is that you could use this at any approved merchant. Well, let's talk about that, folks. We have the IPN mall. Now, this is a concept that you need to really understand. And the reason why is because the only way you can shop at this IPN mall is using 100% Pro. That's the only currency that is able to be transacted with in the IPN mall. Now, the IPN mall is going to have products and services that you would find on Amazon, on eBay, on Google, on Facebook for purchase. You're going to be able to compare the side-by-side pricing. Now, what's so cool about the IPN mall is that it's going to have heavily discounted products from 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, even up to 50% off the normal retail price that you would find on Amazon or eBay. Now, so imagine this. Let's say you were shopping for a pair of boots, and those boots on the IPN mall are, 75 bucks, and then on the Amazon price was 125. Well, that's a $50 savings. Now, here's the catch. In order to be able to shop at the IPN mall, you're going to have to purchase with Pro Rewards. Now, why would IPN mall exist in that fashion? Very simple. The Pro Rewards and Pro itself has to have liquidity. And so this is really important, folks, because if you're just interested in speculation, iPro Network's not for you. Because iPro Network is about something bigger. It's about establishing a community, establishing a shopping network, establishing a many-to-many model within the e-commerce space. Why? Well, I'm about to throw some stats and figures that if you've never seen them, are just going to blow you away, or where e-commerce is going. So when you have an e-commerce mall, an IPN mall, a pro mall that only transacts in pro currency and gives you heavily discounted products, then that's doing, it's creating an outlet and a platform for people to be able to take their pro and use it as liquidity, and that is huge. Now, the second way that gets done is through the e-marketplace. So you're going to be able to get exclusive deals using up to 100%. Now, the vendors that actually participate in the e-marketplace, they can decide up to what percentage they want, but they have to agree to a minimum of 20% of the retail price in pro currency. So here you're going to be able to shop the way you shop everywhere else. However, a minimum of 20%. So you're going to have a smorgasbord of different products, of different services, of different providers in business that are going to be a part of the e-marketplace, and 20% minimum plus a discounted price for all of the people that are pro members. Oh, folks, this is huge. Now, the iPro Network products, for those of you that want to participate and become a part of iPro Network, there's we have to cover this part about e-commerce because this is huge, guys. You don't want to miss the shift. Now, before I go into the products, you need to understand why it is that we have the products that we do. And the reason why is that not only has the way money has evolved, has happened over the last decade or so, but over the last decade or so, where we spend the money has also shifted. So we've gone from brick and mortar to click and order. Now, remember the slide I showed you that 81% of digital currencies being spent online for e-commerce. Well, that's why this slide is so relevant. So if you take nothing else from today, know this: money has changed, and where we spend our money has changed. So over the last 10 years, if you look at Best Buy, Macy's, Kohl's, and Sears, some of the biggest names out there. I mean, I was in a Best Buy store twice over the last week, and they have the coolest stuff. I mean, they have unbelievable merchandise there. Everything that I want to use and have is at Best Buy. And if they can't, keep value within their stores, then what do the other stores have to look forward to? They were at 28.4 billion and they dropped half of that within the last decade. Macy's 24.3 billion, 13 billion now. Kohl's 24.2 billion, 9.9 billion now. Sears, staggering 27.8 billion, is now at 1.3 billion. And in the same time frame, Amazon increased by just shy of 2,000%. 1,910% growth. That number is absurd, but that's what happened. That's the world we're living in. We're living in a world where we don't want to go physically to a store where I could actually earn rewards online, get a better deal, and not have to go and travel and wait in line to pay for stuff. That's the word. That's a fast food nation that we live in right now. And so this isn't something that we're making up. This is what's happening out in the marketplace. In fact, on this Saturday when I was at Best Buy, right next door, Sports Authority, which is a major retailer out here in the West Coast, was completely shut down. Had closed. I even took a picture. I wanted to put it into the slide here, but didn't have time to do that. But that's just a sign of the times. There's malls across the United States that are being shut down, whole entire malls, folks, because of e-commerce just taking over. So the question is, if money has changed, shouldn't I get involved in that change? The answer is yes. That should be an easy answer for you. The second question is, if where people are spending money has changed, shouldn't I get a piece of the pie? And that's the part that iPro Network allows you to do, because what we have is an e-profit system, and we're launching that concept with e-commerce. So for those of you that have the entrepreneur spirit that want to learn how to create a store online, well, guess what? You can do that with iPro Network trainings. Now, before I go into the trainings themselves, I want you to know that all of these trainings that I'm about to describe right now, I'm not going to go through a ton of detail, but these are products that you can buy outside of iPro Network for the same price, if not more. However, with one distinction. So this is real life value of people that have gone through these courses and have made life-changing income, some from hundreds of dollars to seven figures, using the exact same trainings that I'm about to show you right now. So the difference is, though, that just like those 4,500 retailers that work through that application that give a percentage of that purchase back as pro currency, well, guess what? When you buy one of these packages, the promotion right now is 100% coin back minimum. So basic package is $100. That gives you 120 easy to understand foundational videos for you to get started in e-commerce. And that comes with 100% coin back. Now, there is a $50 annual fee for those of you that actually want to participate in promoting this to other people. Now, if you don't want to promote this to other people, you just want to buy the education and love the idea of getting 100% coin back, then you don't have to do that $50 annual fee. So that was the e-com product blueprint. The next e-profit system in the lineup is the AS Inspector. Now, this is a piece of software. This is a software that you're going to be able to use this as a tool to automate and do a lot of the heavy lifting that you're going to encounter within e-commerce. So this intermediate package of software that's going to make life easier for you is a one-time out-of-pocket of $500. Once again, there's that $50 annual fee if you want to promote this. And there's 102% coin back that's attached as a promotion right now with that package. Now, when you buy this package, it also includes the basic package. Now, this is a lifetime license, so you don't have to worry about the updates. You don't have to worry about, the things that change, because all of the updates and the future releases of this software are already a part of this lifetime license. So that is really, really good. Now you have the Ecom Pro Academy. Now on this one, I'm kind of, sentimental about it because I was actually at the event where all of this took place. And let me just describe that to you. There was the who's of e-commerce converged on San Diego, California last year. I believe it was in November, and they were doing some intensive training, 3-day training from 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. I was there for the whole event. Kevin Harrington was there, the guy from Shark Tank that headed up the brand As Seen on TV, and some others. I think the I think it's called QVC or whatever that channel is called. And he was talking about how they're making the shift from TV to online. Why? Because over the last decade or so, the viewership has dropped by half. By half. So basically, TV ads, right, have, in terms of viewership and eyeballs on the TV screen for advertising, it's dropped by 50%, yet the pricing has only dropped and dipped for about 6%. So you're still paying about the same for half of the viewership. So they say that's just crazy. We're going to shift everything to online. That's going from TV to online, folks. So here's the thing. This is so much value here that it would take me a whole day just to tell you everything that you're going to learn here. So it's from A through Z, everything that you need to learn in order to get started in e-com, how to drive traffic, very important trainings on Facebook, Google Shopping, and Google. I could tell you that there was a YouTube training that blew me away at the Ecom Pro Academy. That's part of it as well. It includes the basic, the intermediate packages, 104% coin back. Awesome product. The Ecom Jam, this is going to dive you into an advanced training on Shopify. Shopify is one of the most robust platforms in the ecom space. So this is all about Shopify, store customization, high converting sales pages. This is an advanced training for 2,500, 107% coin back with this e-profit system. And then our top package, which is the Elite Amazon training, this one is going to be about fulfillment by Amazon, how to use them to do fulfillment, either for products that you're selling from eBay and you're selling them on Amazon, or you want to create your own brands and learn where to source that, how to bring them in, and how to take advantage of FBA through Amazon. This is our most complete package. It comes with all the training of Amazon, but it also includes the basic, the intermediate, the accelerated, and the advanced packages. It gives, right now, the promotion is 110% coin back. Okay. And again, if you want to promote, there's that $50 annual fee. Now, some people are always going to ask the question, can I upgrade? Can I start at one package and then move up to another? The answer is yes. However, I do want to let you know that if you do that, you miss out on that extra 2, 4, 7, and 10%. So if you start at the 100 and then want to upgrade to the 5,500, you would pay the difference, which is 5,400. However, you would not get the extra 10%. You still get the 100%, but you wouldn't get that extra 10%. So I hope that I made that perfectly clear. Now, the key benefits and advantages, we're not going to read everything here. I'm just going to give you the highlights. Innovation, the most advanced digital coin usability model on the market today, backed by a strong legal team with over 25 years in the industry. Now, folks, the first part of that most advanced digital coin usability model on the market today. That is not a sentiment. That's not something that you'd write on a greeting card or on a bumper sticker. That's not just something that we're saying to make it sound cool. That's actually reality. Folks, number one, there's nothing remotely that resembles a digital currency rewards application out on the market today. This is first to market, and we're days away from launching that. So, folks, that is one of the hottest things. There is nothing that exists where you can only buy with Pro Currency out on the marketplace today that is going to have an e-com site that actually competes with the pricing on some of the major stores like Amazon or eBay, and where you could have heavily discounted products where you could actually use Pro Currency to purchase products and services at discounted prices. So that doesn't exist. And you don't have another platform that you have products that have already been proven outside of a networking opportunity, that have already transformed lives outside of the network, for people that just want to have that entrepreneur spirit and learn how to have an e-commerce business. These are real products, real trainings that have real value, and on top of that have transformed lives outside of the network. So you have all of those components together, folks, in iPro Network. So now let's talk about compensation. We have 4 bonuses. The first one is a direct sell bonus. You receive 10% direct sell on any package sold directly by you. So there you see the prices, and there you see the 10% commission that's attached to the sale of that product. Now, one thing that I do want to point out here is that if you're, let's say, for example, signed up in the basic package and you sell a professional package of $5,500, you would still earn the $550 commission. Now, this is important, folks, because there's companies out there that if you're not, signed up at the top package, well, then, the way their compensation, is structured, you would lose out on commissions if you don't sign up at the other package with direct sell bonuses. And so, IPN is not playing any of those games. What actually determines the commission is the package that is sold, and it doesn't matter what package you're signed up in. That that does not interfere with the commission that you could potentially earn. And then we have the binary bonus. Now, folks, I'm a little biased. I love the binary. And the reason why is when I got dragged into this industry kicking and screaming, it was a binary. And I've seen the power. I've seen how you could help and support people through the binary. In my opinion, now this is just my opinion, better than in other types of compensation structures within our industry. So what I love about it is that from you down to infinity with no levels to qualify, as long as you have one left, one right, you're going to be able to get paid 10% of the weaker team volume, which means if you have a million of volume on one leg and you have 20,000 on the other, well, guess what? You make 10% of that 20,000. Or if you have 200,000, you make 10% of the 200,000. And you keep making that 10% until you catch or match the other leg, and then, you would start over. However, there's no flushing in this binary. So whatever gets deducted from your pay leg, that goes to zero, but it only takes out the equivalent portion on the other side at the 1-to-1 ratio. And then whatever you still have left over on your stronger team is there for the next time that you're owed commissions on your weaker leg. So there's no flushing, which is really, really cool. So just remember this, that with the binary, you have depth. You can override 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. It doesn't matter. It gives you the depth from you down to infinity with no levels to qualify, as long as you have one left, one right. Matching bonuses. This is really, really cool, because now I just described the depth of the program, but you could also go wide. Now think about this: having a unilevel structure with compression within a binary structure, which is smoking hot. Why? Because you can go 10, 10, 20, 20. Meaning your first level, you get, as long as you have one left, one right, and the volume requirements associated to earn matching bonuses, you're going to earn 10% from your first level. Now, what's really cool is that it'll look to the next person in your organization that actually has some commissions. And, you could always refer to our training that goes into every single aspect of this, but it basically looks for the people that are qualified, so that you could go deep, 10, 15, 20 levels just to go through your 4 levels. So that's really, really cool. So if you have people that just take up a spot and they don't do anything, it's not going to affect you with your matching bonus, because it compresses. So what's also really cool, and I've seen a lot of compensation plans, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and typically a matching bonus will start high and then go to, to very low percentages. Here we're starting at a very high percentage, and then goes higher as you go deeper. So you have, with a binary, you have the depth, which you have spillover. Then you have the matching bonuses that goes to enrollment stream volume only. However, it's 10, 10, 20, 20. With compression, you could go as wide as you want to go. And then we have the leadership rank bonus, which Pro 1 and Pro 2 are one-time bonuses. Very simple. We're not going to go through all the qualifiers here today. Those are one-time, basically a thank you pat on the back. keep it going. But once you get to Pro 3 to Pro 7, then that really changes the game, because now you can override your enrollment tree volume by 1% at Pro 3, 1.5 Pro 4, Pro 5. I gotta edit that there. Pro 5 is 2%, Pro 6 2.5, and then Pro 7 3%. So what's really cool is that, if and I'm speaking to the leadership, the people that are actually going to go out there and just do some crazy volume, to be able to override your volume at 3% or even 1% is huge. I know that I've been a part of some huge builds. Probably one of the best builds I've ever done is about, within 45 to 90 days. Actually, it was closer to 45. Did about $17 million in volume. If I would have been able to get 1% or 3% off of that volume, that would have been fantastic. So, but that wasn't available. Made a lot of money, but with this, it would have been extra money on top of what was already earned. So this is great. Now, folks, here's the best part: commissions and the way they're paid out. 70% is paid in USD and 30% is paid in Pro rewards. Now, folks, this is great because the 70% we know we're going to live off of that. That's going to sustain our lifestyle. But that 30% in Pro rewards, that becomes something special. That becomes something different, because when you earn them, you're going to earn them at a particular price. But who knows where it's going to be in a year? Who knows where it's going to be in 2 years? Who knows where it's going to be in 8 years? And so in your mind, I want you to think, if I earned $1,000, right, and I earned 700 of it cash, and I earned 300 of it in Pro at, at 0.09, let's take today's number, right? And then, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years from now, it's worth, $2 or $3, or let's say it's worth $50. Whatever you want to put on there, if you put that number, to me, it's a question mark. I'm here for the long haul. I'm not here for the now. I call this, my retirement money, right? This is like throwing a pass to myself from myself when I'm earning in Pro rewards. And what that number is, who knows? But that's what it is. And so that's a really exciting part of this whole program. Now, the redemption period is after 30 days of being earned. Those rewards can be used to shop or be redeemed at the rate of 5% per week. So once again, there's going to be that redemption period. But folks, so many people that are so incredibly excited about this, because there's just nothing else out there like this. This is amazing. So there's something for everyone. So you could purchase the eProfit system, potentially benefit greatly when you apply what you have learned. So, if you buy the education, you can have an e-commerce business. And I really like that, folks, because, that speaks to a lot of people. It resonates with a lot of people that might not have the same abilities as some of the leadership in terms of being able to go out there and talk to a lot of people, or be in front of the room, or do webinars, or what have you. But if they could sit in front of their computer and they could build out an e-commerce business, and I have testimonials. I introduced one of my good friends 2 years ago to e-commerce, and he said, "Hey, I'm retired from networking. I'm going to do e-commerce full time." And guess what? He developed a partnership with another gentleman that did the technical aspects of it. They built stores, $5,000 a day in revenue. And that's phenomenal. But iPro Network brought him out of retirement, so he's now part of the network here. So those are some really success stories that some people are going to really resonate within the education. Now, you can actually share the IPM platform and get paid commissions and earn at that rate of 70-30% split. And you can acquire and collect as many Pro rewards as possible to use or trade them. So there's really something for even the people that say, well, I don't have time, but I want to get involved. Well, guess what? You have the Pro rewards. Go shop, go whatever, acquire them, and then, as you're going by your day to day. So the packages and the bonuses, we have the package, $50 annual activation. That's not really a package. There's no coins there. There's no education there. There's no Pro rewards. Excuse me, not coins, but Pro rewards. You can earn direct bonuses. Yes, there is a weekly cap that you can earn from team volume, which is $500 a week. And then you have, and that's it. That's all you can do with that package. There's no rebates. There's no rewards. There's nothing. Then you have the $100 basic package that you can earn direct bonuses. Now remember, the direct bonuses are not capped. Those are completely uncapped. So you can make as much money as you want through the direct bonuses. The weekly cap with $100 basic is $500. You get the 100% rebate, and and the education that goes with that package, which is the 120 videos for the foundation of starting your e-commerce business. Then you have the $500 intermediate, which is the software that's going to do a lot of the automation from the heavy lifting of e-com, and you can earn the direct bonuses there. Now look at the caps. This is where you have to pay attention, folks, because you've gone from a weekly cap in terms of team commissions to 2,500, which is a huge jump. That's a $2,000 difference a week in potential income. Doesn't mean you're going to earn it. Just means that the potential is a lot bigger. You could also start overriding level 1 matching bonus, and you have an extra 2%. So you have the minimum of 100%, but an extra 2% when you buy that package. Then you have the $1,500 accelerated package, and that's $7,500 weekly cap. So again, the jump here is quite big. That's a $5,000 difference per week, potentially. Doesn't mean you're going to make it, just means that the potential is there. And you could match levels 1 and 2 and an extra 4%. So you get 100%, 104% with the accelerated package. The advanced 2,500, 12,500. That puts you in the neighborhood around $50,000 per month. That's some serious income. Levels 1 through 3 and 107% coin back. We have the $5,500 professional package, 35,000 weekly cap. You can match levels 1 through 4 and 110% coin back with this particular package. Now, folks, you can earn your way to the top. Now, the numbers right here on this slide are going to be like, wait a second, you just told me that the cap is 35,000. How can you get to 440,000 a month? 35 times 4, that's only 140,000, if I'm not mistaken. So how can you get to 440,000? Well, you need to see our advanced compensation plan training, because, folks, when you see that, you're going to see that every account here has the opportunity to get to 440,000. Whether you start at $50 or whether you start at 5,500, you can earn your way up through sales volume and unlock everything that needs to be unlocked in order for you to get to those numbers. So it doesn't matter whether you start at 50 or start at 5,500. You're going to have the same support, the same training, the same support in order to reach your dreams within iPro Network. So it doesn't matter, folks. If you start where 50 or 5,500 plus the $50 activation fee, you all have a way to get to the max, which is $440,000 a month. Which, if you do the math on that, it's like 5.6 mil a year, which is insane income, folks. Now, at the end of these presentations, there's always 3 types of people. The first one says, no, that's not for me. And if that's the case, well, folks, we're about to release the app. That app is going to allow you to earn digital currency for free. You're going to be able to shop whatever you're going to shop for. And so take advantage of it. Just shop through the app, earn some digital currency, and see what happens. I mean, I think that would be the smartest choice for the person that says, well, I don't want to do the iPro Network stuff, but let me kind of just participate in the shopping app. And if you don't want to participate in that, well, then we thank you for listening so attentively to this presentation. The second person is a yes. And if you want to get started, I encourage you to do that as quickly as possible. Talk to the person that invited you to this webinar, get all the details for you to get you signed up, to get you registered, and get you on your way. And then the third person is a person that has some questions, has some concerns. And if that is the case, I'm going to tell you the very, very worst thing that you could do for yourself right now is not ask them. There are people that are making and earning some incredible life-changing income, folks, and that's only going to keep growing and growing and growing. So you definitely want to get any questions that you have answered as quickly as possible. Now, folks, I want to thank each and every one of you for being on this webinar presentation. It's been my pleasure to be your host.